It is Friday night. We spent 4 hours practicing on the ice today. We got nice helmet hair going on. All nice and flat, and I don't know, you got some kind of side part going on. I don't know what's going on there.
It's just hair, right?
It's hair. Yeah. We don't care about hair or makeup because helmets ruin everything.
I don't wear makeup, so.
Really? Oh. Thought you had a little mascara on today. Yeah, we're going to talk about practice here.
Oh.
So, came to the track, unloaded. They had a small practice track kind of plowed off that everybody was using, which is nice because we actually were completely unaware that practice was even allowed. So went out to turn a few laps, and the sled was awful, absolutely terrible. Tons of ski lift, just couldn't drive it. Pulled it back in. Luckily, Jill was at the ready to help us, kind of flagged her down as she was going past, and ran things by her, kind of showed her what the setup was that we were working with and what it was doing that I didn't want it to do, what I wanted it to do, and kind of took it from there. Extremely knowledgeable, super awesome to have her kind of in our corner.
Sure.
And I mean, just completely blown away by her knowledge. So, really happy to be a Polaris racer right now. Totally worth it. And she gave us a lot of really good pointers. So, we made a bunch of adjustments that she had suggested. And it would seem like it would get better in one area and then get worse in another. If it would get better on like the steering effort, then all of a sudden the sled would push and it wasn't going where I was steering it, or we would make another adjustment and the ski would come up even worse than before, or like we were just chasing this thing for hours. And I had to just try to go lap after lap after lap, and no matter what we did to it, we couldn't figure it out. And I think like my biggest complaint was the ski lift on corner exit. Yep. So coming into the corner wasn't so bad, and yeah, Joel could see it too. Like halfway through the corner and kind of on exit when I'm back into the throttle, that inside ski would just lift like crazy for me. And I just at a certain point I didn't know what else to throw at it, and we tried and couldn't figure it out. So I finally said, well, fine, you hop on it. You're going to be driving this tomorrow too, so yeah. Let him take it out for 2 laps. 2 laps! And he comes back in and says, gee, I can't rotate the back end out in the corner. I can't let it slide like everybody else is. Maybe we should take some ice picks out.
Yeah, the outside.
So we took 24 ice picks out on the outside. I take it back out, and would you look at that? It drives. And not only that, but the inside ski stays down for the most part. But it took 4 hours to figure out all we need to do is take some ice picks out. Who would have thought? So,
you gotta let me drive it, huh?
Apparently. That was my problem, is that I was on the sled. Who would have thought? Me on my own sled, and I can't figure it out. So, I'm very sore. The muscles between my shoulder blades hurt a lot.
I'm not too sore, so.
That's because you only put in like 2 laps today.
But
when it was finally figured out, he put in more laps.
Yeah.
So, at the end of it all, we did a lot more adjusting than I thought we were going to. Don't even know if they were all necessary.
You don't know what you don't know, right?
Have no idea if most of the changes we even did were actually completely necessary, but it is what it is. So at least for tomorrow, we have a good driving sled. It's fine. It's easy to drive.
I could tell driving it when you had it, or the setup it had. It's like you had to take the snowbanks and
Yeah.
Didn't want any part of that.
You kind of had to use snowbanks to kind of hold you in and like
everybody
rail
else
around
was
the
like
outside.
using the ice, and
Yeah.
I'm like, and then they just like slide the back end out and go way tighter line.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we need to do that.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
That was my thought process.
All we had to do was loosen up the back end, and that was it. So we should be okay for tomorrow. The ski lift is still there, but it's minimal. We know what we need to do for next year, which is shorten the shocks, which we don't have the funds, we don't have the time, we don't have the equipment to do it ourselves. And this is our last ice race, so we're just leaving it the way it is. Should be pretty good still. So course is a little over 12 miles long. I do 3 laps, Joel's doing 4 in his race. So I have enough fuel, so I'll basically have to do my race, pull back into the trailer, fill it back up with gas, and then stage him for his race. So at least there's still a slight bit of time that in case an adjustment needs to be made, we can do something quick and fill up, and then he can be ready for his race. So racing starts at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Should be getting up a little after 6. Make sure we get there in time. We're all teched and everything for tomorrow, so we don't have to do that. So it's pretty much going to be unload and go. So, yeah, rub my back, please. It hurts. Should be a fun day. We're excited to be back on the ice one more time this year. And then we'll be back on terrain for two more races, hopefully. At least one. But last one is still kind of a to be announced for location. But otherwise, we will see you guys on the flip side. Go Team Kreitziger.
Yeah.